Hello everybody, I am Fwipp, thy noble adventurer. Today I have the day off, yet I don't have any ideas. So, welcome to IdeaQuest. I'm going to bring the camera with me, as well as my trusty bag filled with notepad, other notepad, pens, and of course, this camera complete with tripod. We're going to head outside. We're going to hopefully find some things to make stories about or whatever. So join me there and hopefully we'll find something. See you in a little bit. Hello everyone, I, your quest leader, Fwipp, seem to have found our first clue of story. Here on the sidewalk remain strange elements of something I can't discern. As you'll notice, they're very reflective fragments, but what I ask is, was this at some point a plate? Or was it something more? Why leave these pieces but take the rest? On this day, when there seems to be no one else around except people mowing their lawns, why would you leave a bunch of glass on a public sidewalk unless, number one, you're trying to pop strange kids' bicycle tires, and I'm sure no one is actually that cruel, or I just don't understand why you would clean up half a broken plate, yet leave the other remnants. And that's assuming it's a plate. That's only the first thing that came to my mind. I'll continue, but there's clearly more of a story there. I really can't say. The house in front of it, I don't really know anything about. I mean, maybe someone was angry and threw a plate at the ground, but then why leave those pieces and not the rest? It's clearly not enough to make a full plate. Moving on. Fwipp again, having just made it on the other side of this chasm. As you can see, I could obviously have climbed along this metal bank, but instead I decided to try and jump this gap in true adventuring fashion. I believe I went wrong when my foot went down there, and then again, right there in the middle of the water, hence why this foot is now, well, let's see if I can get this on camera right. Absolutely coated in mud, soaked right through, but let's just say I missed that acrobatic saving roll, and now it's part of my story. So I'll see you in a bit. Fwipp again, and I've just acquired an item in my grand quest. The sole of a shoe. So now if I find some necromancer or something trying to steal my soul, I'll have one artificial extra. Under this mysterious overhang, our hero gave himself quite a few moments of pause, for a very strange idea came into his head. If, through IdeaQuest, the point is to find items of value, what exactly is the point of that? Why am I doing it at all? Why is acquiring loot important to any quest? Or, in fact, the main focus for the most part. For example, over here I've collected a worry stone, right? It's a small rock that you rub and your worries are gone, and a knothole from a tree. Somehow they're important. Well, why are those important, right? Well, those could be important because I perceive them to have value, but why is value so important? Is it something that I'm meant to share with others? Is it something that's supposed to be good in and of itself? I mean, when was materialism supposedly so important? And if I'm getting so meta about adventuring, why is making videos such an important thing? Isn't that the same problem? It's like I'm playing a game with rules that I perceive to be there that don't quite fit for the problem. Like, you go on an adventure, you collect loot, you defeat challenges, so you can become awesome. I'm here making videos, so I can get better at making videos, have some fans, and then I'm still awesome. But what's the goal? I mean, even in life, what's the point of it all? If you go out and you work every day to acquire things of value, what's your motivation, for goodness sakes? Why is it at the core of what we are? I can't have played so many games that, it's not that of an important deal. It's there, right? And if I'm just making stories to create an experience for all of you, is that actually any better if it's just supposed to be another material value thing for me. Well, I know this has suddenly turned into a treatise on adventuring, but a great man once said to me, question everything, right? If it's in my head that value is so important, why the bloody heck is that in my head? Is it useful? If it's not useful, get rid of it. English professors in university, they're amazing. But, you know what? If, getting loot is meant to progress you through the game, that's kind of a thing, right? So, but it's not got to be the only thing, right? I think the important thing is your motivation. Like, I'm out here to get stories, right? To have fun, and to make something that somehow is greater than the sum of its parts, to be a cliche. Just think about it, right? If I'm out here making stories in the middle of the day with nothing but a rock, a piece of wood, a camera, and a notepad, is this going to be inspiration to other people? Is that why I'm doing this? Or am I doing this just to show you guys who I am? Have a good day, make some fun of role-playing games, be a little philosophical, that sort of thing? Is that good enough? I'm not trying to be negative, right? AKA, I'm not trying to say there is no point in existence. No, because that's not why we're here. I am optimistic. I am not heading into, nihilism. We are not doing that today. Now, we're having a great day on a beautiful sunny day out by the water. We are having an IdeaQuest. And maybe that's all it is. Maybe all it is underneath these trees in the middle of the day, it's just Fwipp's moment to just say, hey, you know what? I'm out here having stories, having fun, and I'm bringing you along for the ride. Let's see what's around the bend. How about that? Let's have some fun, guys. I feel like a bard, I feel like the rogue sat down and changed his class. Gosh. Oh well, sometimes you get good ideas, sometimes you get bad ones. Let's see what happens next. Alright guys, on second thought to elaborate, or rather, to defend myself from myself, what I'm actually doing here is an act of salvage. Okay, if I don't find that interesting, mysterious bit of glass or metal that no one else would have seen because nobody walks on the shoreline, then the tide's just going to take it back out, and no one will ever hear from it again. Like, hey, what's this? This is a small flat stone. I don't really know what its purpose is. I don't want it, but, did anybody else see it? No. If it was important, I'm saving things. That's what I am. I'm a friggin' hero. I walk down this shore, and I'm a hero. How about that? I'm not some kind of materialistic goon. This is a righteous quest, isn't it? I'm here to find things and repurpose them into awesomeness. Just like I'm trying to turn myself into something awesome, too. Everything's a reflection of yourself, I guess, when you're a content creator. Why don't we say? But that's mostly what I'm doing. If I didn't get anything, I don't need to be on the defensive. I'm quite certain of my motivations. Aren't I? I think so. I've been doing this long enough. See a little crow. Goodness sakes. That's really what it is. Heroism. Take that. What the heck? Well, the crow's eating a dead fish. Well, that's okay. Even that's repurposing, right? Food for thought. Okay, guys, this is only a few moments later, but remember when I said, hey, look, that crow's eating a dead fish? Why the heck is the shoreline just filled with dead fish? I mean, I can see the crows having eaten their eyes now, so that's not a clue as to what's going on. But earlier, way out there, I saw a boat, and it was emptying its nets. So the only thing I can think of is maybe these people, after having caught all these fish, just threw back the ones that they couldn't keep. But of course, then they ended up dead on the shore. Which, would make no sense. How is that any better for the environment if all these fish still resume dead? Oh well. Whoa, did I zoom in somehow? Not sure if you can see this, but those are literally waves of just dead fish floating by. Like, clearly they have been dumped. And again, I have no idea why. This might be unrelated to the quest at hand, but you want a wave of nostalgia? Try coming back to the clubhouse that you grew up in when you were like, I don't even know how old I was. We moved out of that house and across the river at least 4 or 5 years ago. But it's been even longer since I was ever in my old clubhouse. My God. Oh, I had some great times under that tiny roof until the wasps moved into this terrible tree. But anyways, oh my goodness. Did I have adventures with my pretend computer and all the different cogs and things that I would find down at the shoreline. Like I said, you want nostalgia? Just go back to where you were as a kid and you'll remember the glory days of every adventure under the sun. All you need is, you know, a little plastic shovel and time. Hey everybody, I know I've got a lot of footage of like beaches right now, but like this is the beach that I grew up on, right? I'd come down here, I'd find things like interesting rocks, strange bits of glass, and the occasional strange animal tooth. And that was my life as a kid. This was where I grew up, so I knew I'd find something great here, right? Turns out I find a cursed artifact. Yep. I believe in RPG terms, this is a lodestone. For me, I believe that this is the perfect shape to be a literal writer's block. It's a piece of driftwood. It's wet on the inside, I can tell, but it's exactly the right shape that I'd want to paint it and turn it into, well, you know, a writer's block, a literal thing to have at a table somewhere, which would be funny and actually really sad. Anyway, it's actually extremely heavy. So just like an actual lodestone from D&D, this sucker is coming with me. Oh, God. It's an interesting thing to think about that every person driving by in a car in this world has their own story, their own life, their own thing that they're doing. It's a bit incomprehensible to think about, really, that every single person everywhere is actually really, really busy with their own things. And nobody else notices all these shiny dead fish in the water. Like, thanks for the waves, boat. Maybe now I won't be able to actually see them. But there are a ton of dead fish. I don't get it. Where'd they come from? A mystery today, I guess. But it just struck me all of a sudden that, yes, just every single car is on a mission. Everybody is busy doing something. And that doesn't even account for the people like me that like staying in their rooms every so often. You know, making up their own stories, trying to get creativity out of nothing. When really, you walk out this, you know, you walk out the front door of your house, and there's some kind of crazy fish mystery I'll never figure out going on. And so concludes IdeaQuest. Well, instead of getting rid of my writer's block, I found one. Maybe I'll end up turning that into something good, who knows. There's quite a few more dead fish than I expected to see today, that's for sure. And a lot more time spent at the beach than perhaps I first anticipated, but when you walk off on your own, you do tend to go back to places you enjoy. Maybe next time it'll be back through the woods, or, you know, in search of porcupines again. Anyways, thanks for joining me on this little adventure, and I hope you guys go out there and maybe have one of their own too. If so, hey, send a message to me. I'd love to check it out. Have a good luck finding inspiration out there, my friends. I hope this was fun. Have a good day.